All right, guys, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, you enjoy what you see, make sure to hit that subscribe button. So today's the big day. It is the Xbox Developer Direct, where we're going to see big deep dives and looks at the games that they have announced, like Avowed and Indiana Jones and Ara History Untold and Hellblade 2. Hopefully we'll be walking away with the official release date for that game. But yesterday, the day before leading up to it, the talk about Xbox going third party again became a major topic. And it's honestly utterly confusing at this point why this continuously does come up. Anytime Xbox comes out at all and talks about their games going to other platforms, everybody starts saying that they are going to be fully third party, which it really just confusing. And the reason I say that is because Satya Nadella was speaking with Bloomberg. And he said a couple of things here. And then obviously after what he said, social media lit up. Everybody was debating what he said. What did he mean? And I have to say, I had a long day yesterday, so I didn't get in until late. I didn't get to listen to what he said and read his comments. I was able to kind of go through Twitter sporadically throughout the day and just kind of see some of the debates. And then when I got home at the end of the day, I listened to what Nadella said. And I was like, there is absolutely nothing new at all what Nadella said here to lead people to believe any further that Xbox is going to be becoming a huge third-party publisher, and all their games are going to be going to the PlayStation and to Nintendo. That's just, I don't foresee that happening. I don't think it's going to happen. And we will, though, see some games, but it is absolutely zero new information from what Nadella said, because it's almost like people forget that we went almost through 2 years of Activision Blizzard and Xbox trying to close that deal, for them being forced to get Nintendo and PlayStation and other platforms to sign 10-year deals to get Activision Blizzard games on their platform. So here is what Nadella says. He says, "We love gaming. In fact, Microsoft Flight Simulator was born even before Windows. But we were number 3, number 4, and now with Activision, I think we have a chance of being a good publisher. Quite frankly, on Sony, Nintendo, PCs, and Xbox. So yeah, we're excited about that acquisition closing, and I'm glad we got it through." So he says nothing new whatsoever here to expand the conversation about Xbox going third party. We've known for a long time now that they have 10-year deals with Nintendo, with Sony. They even had to sign off the cloud rights to Ubisoft to publish the games on the cloud wherever Ubisoft wants to publish them, to have the Activision Blizzard deal be closed. I don't think anybody thought for, at least over a year now, that Activision Blizzard was going to be an acquisition where all the games were only exclusive to Xbox. We know that wasn't going to be the case. Activision Blizzard is going to have tons of multi-platform games, but this is not new information at all. So anybody out here saying that this is some more proof that Xbox is going full third party are either not serious or literally haven't been following the industry for a while. Now, there is another thing here he does say, and I guess people are trying to come up with another interpretation as to Xbox going third party. And again, this is just them talking about Xbox and the future of Xbox. And this is what Nadella says. He says, "We think that now we have the ability to do what we always set out to do, which is build great games and deliver them to folks across all platforms, which is Xbox and consoles, PCs, mobile gaming, and cloud gaming." He's literally just listing everywhere that a game that is published by Xbox is going to be. And yes, Call of Duty is going to be on PlayStation. Call of Duty is going to be on Nintendo. We know that World of Warcraft is going to be on PC, of course, and is going to be potentially on multiple platforms if they were to release that on the actual console itself. They're going to have mobile gaming. So you're going to be able to play their games everywhere. And that's literally all he's saying. This has been the strategy of Xbox now for years. So all of this talk that is heating up about more third-party talk really is all just because people want to find a reason to doubt Xbox and their strategy. We will see today during the Xbox Developer Direct that all of the games that they are showing off are coming to Xbox, PC, and the cloud, aka wherever Xbox Game Pass is. We already know that because Aaron Greenberg tweeted that out before this Developer Direct. So that was just a confusing thing. I thought this was going to be some bigger news before talking about this, but it literally isn't. Again, it's just, I guess, the fanboys on PlayStation begging to get Xbox games on to their platform, because they got nothing coming out this year. They really don't have anything. They have Foam Stars going into PlayStation Plus. So that it was kind of funny to see. All right, let's jump over here. Towerborne. I'm really excited for Towerborne, and we got some new concept art. This is just a quick thing here. They just showed a drawing of this character concept art, and I mean, it looks really cool. I love the actual style that they're going with, the kind of fantasy style mixed in with these interesting different types of weapons. Got the eye patch on him and the fur or whatever that is. I don't know, the cape. It looks really, really cool. I really like what they're doing, and seeing this game on screen, as we already have seen some gameplay of it, it looks like it's going to be a very fun game. I'm really excited for this as somebody who has played other games like this, like Dragon's Crown and Odin's Sphere. So pretty excited to see how Towerborne stacks up against those styles of side-scrolling action RPGs. Okay, let's talk about this, because we have, again, another, I guess, tick in the positive column for the Xbox Series S. Whenever we talk about the Xbox Series S, or whenever I talk about the Xbox Series S, I have this theory that whenever there is negative news about the S, it gets amplified far more than when there is positive news. I mean, you can even see here from this article, I mean, nobody's talking about it. There's 0 shares on it. But overall, this generation, yes, the Series S is the least powerful by a decent amount versus the X and the PlayStation 5. But there have been way more positive stories and way more positive things that the Xbox Series S has brought to gaming than negative things. And here is just another one. This says indie dev says optimizing for the Xbox Series S benefits consumers immensely. So this here is from TechRadar. They decided to speak to some other devs about the console, the Xbox Series S, and their approach to working on it. They spoke with Cass Carpendale, the CEO of indie studio Poppyworks, and Neville Attard, the founder of Polycrunch Games. And they said some interesting things here about the Xbox Series S. They say here, multi-platform development doesn't have to be difficult. Adding multi-platform support to a game that wasn't developed with that in mind is where the trouble comes from. And that's always a thing that you think about when it comes to, is it better for games to be exclusive or not? And I would say one of the positives from the development side of exclusivity is that they really can just hone in on that one platform that the game is going to be on and pull out all the juice out of it, because they don't have to think about all the different specs that the game is going to be launching on. Like, for example, PC, there's so many different specs, right? From lower end PCs, mid-range to higher end. And then with consoles themselves, if there are multiple different consoles and they're putting it on every single one, they have to make sure that the game runs smoothly on as weak as the Nintendo Switch to as powerful as the Xbox Series X. And that thing can definitely hold up development. When we did see that happen with Baldur's Gate 3, where it was ready for Xbox, but they couldn't get split screen working on the S, so they eventually had to drop it. And that's why the game did get delayed for Xbox. Now, Neville Attard adds this: if the developers always keep the slowest platform they are targeting in mind, first and foremost, then the other platforms should be easier to deal with. So you're starting here with the lowest power platform, which would be the Xbox Series S, and then I guess you then scale your game up to take advantage of the more powerful consoles. Now, there is another thing they do mention, that it's understandably frustrating if you run into issues meeting that parity requirement, but I think this is the kind of thing that benefits the consumers immensely, and a little bit of planning can make it a non-issue. Luckily for us, Slave 0x runs well on all Microsoft platforms, and that is the upcoming title that these guys are working on. And I mean, I think what they're saying here is, yes, parity can at points make it difficult for development, but you just have to keep that in your planning. You have to make sure that as you start developing this game, you're looking at the Xbox Series S, you're seeing what it can do, and you're making sure that the game is going to be able to run that. But there are so many more advantages to the consumer, because it opens up the ability to jump in and play these games to way more people when you have a lower end, cheaper console, an easier access point, where if it wasn't for that, especially with something like Xbox Game Pass, a lot of these indie games in particular would just not be discovered nearly as much as they are, because of the fact that people can jump in and play them on the S, on the X, on PC, on the cloud, all of those different platforms. So another positive thing here for the Xbox Series S, that the optimization side of things is definitely something that can be done. And we've seen tons of just great examples of games running great on the Xbox Series S at 60 frames per second. I mean, I'm just playing through. I think Ubisoft does a great job at optimizing their games for the lower end platforms. I mean, I played through Assassin's Creed Mirage and I've played it on the X and the S. I always go back and forth between my consoles and it ran great on both, in my opinion. I'm not like a pixel pusher. I don't zoom in on the pixels. I don't count frames, but just from, I can feel the experience in my hand. Assassin's Creed Mirage, which is a beautiful looking game, ran great on the S and the X. And now I'm also playing Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown, which is running great on the Xbox Series S as well. So the Xbox Series S, another check mark in the positive column, at least from my perspective. And I use my Series S all the time. All right. And finally, let's jump over here and let's talk about Starfield, because people are expecting a really big update and that update has been delayed. Bethesda has actually confirmed the delay of what they are calling their biggest update yet. They say featuring over 100 fixes and improvement. The update was originally due to be released in Steam beta yesterday before rolling out to players 2 weeks later. And this is what Bethesda has to say about this. We discovered an issue we want to address before releasing our update into the Steam beta. We're aiming to release it later this week, but we'll confirm timing when we know for sure. Thanks for your patience. They say when the update arrives, it will include a large number of quest fixes, which is always a good thing to see. First of all, Eye of the Storm issues, such as being unable to dock with the legacy or data transfer not starting, and temples not showing up in the unknown, will no longer prevent Constellation from exploring the cosmos. So that's one thing that's getting fixed. I think that may have happened to me, if I recall correctly. They say the update also promises to bring stability improvements and numerous graphic improvements, ranging from additional widescreen support to improved textures, lighting, and shadows. And additional fixes will include sun disk geometry, planet ring shadows, bulldoze objects appearing when returning to an outpost, ship hatches marked inaccessible, and another fix for asteroids following ships. So just another week or so, and you're going to be able to get their biggest update yet, which is going to have over 100 fixes and improvements. But I'm going to end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.